Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, today we are agents. We're going to be riding in cars around a beautiful little neighborhood down Agent Avenue, trying to talk to different agents, have our opponents talk to different agents, and hopefully try to catch them, demask them, and figure out who they are and win the game. Today we're taking a look at Agent Avenue. This is mainly a two-player I split you choose head game with adorable art. This is done by Nerdlab, which is co-designed by one of the people that made Mindbug, which is one of the most amazing two-player card games ever. That's one of the reasons why I'm really interested in this. So let me show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. Now this is a beautiful looking game, as you can see, where you're each going to be an agent. That's what the pawns look like. They're each going to start on their own house, and the idea is you're trying to, everyone's going clockwise, you're trying to catch the other person and unmask their identity. So the first one that catches the other one is going to win. You're going to be playing with these different little cards. It has beautiful art to try to do so. So let's show you how it works. On your turn, you're going to have a hand of 4 cards. You're going to place one face up and one face down. Then the other player picks a card. Do they want the one they can see, or do they want the one that they can't see? This is a lot of this game is bluffing, double bluffing, mind games, and things like that. Because if the player takes this card, if it's their first card of this one, they go 1. If it's their second enforcer, they go 2. If it's their third or more enforcer, they go 3. Okay, well, they know for sure they're going to move positive, so maybe they just take this one. Or do they say, you might be hiding something good here? But they go, no, they don't take the bait, they take the sure thing off the bat. The person who played this card now needs to take it. So you're getting one of the 2 cards you place there, and you have to know that as part of your strategy. You flip this over, not great. I got the Saboteur, -1 the first time I get it, -1 the second time I get it. The third one is going to be -2, not great. So for example, I would move -1, they would move +1. These cards would go in front of the respective players, and then the other player would select. Now once you start with 4 cards, you place 2, you always draw back up, so you have 4 cards, and you just keep going this way. And of course, sometimes some people are moving forwards, some people go backwards, and in this case, the green would have caught them, and the green would have won. Now let's look at some of the other cards. Most of these cards, there's 6 of each of them. Sentinel, 0 the first one you get, 2, and then 6 as you get more. Double Agent makes you go -1, but then +6, but then -1 for the rest. So you really want to get the second one of that at the right time. The Sidekick and the Mole, +4 and -3, is only one of those 2 cards. So each of these only 1. Those are the only cards that only have 1. The Daredevil and Codebreaker are interesting. Daredevil is you go up 2, you go up 3, your third one, if you get your third one, you'll lose. This one has 0 for the first, 0 for the second. If you get the third, you win. So once you start getting 1 or 2 of these, it really starts messing with people's minds. Now, let's say a player has this in front of them, and I place face down, face up. I'm like, okay, do you want to take a negative, or do you want to take this? And this player's like, I am so paranoid I don't want to take that, because if it was the Daredevil, they lose. They're almost forced to take this, unless they really think this person is bluffing, and then maybe they go for this. So now they're almost forced to take this, and of course, we were setting them up for a loss, but they don't know that, right? They can see how many cards might be out, they can see how many they may have in their hand, they can try to deduce what's the probabilities of that there, but you can really mess with people. Because they may have said, you know what, yeah, I gotta take this, and they might have left this for me, and I could have gone 4, and they go, darn it, I knew you were messing with me, stuff like that. A couple other caveats on playing cards is they both have to be different cards. They can't be the same cards unless the very rare time where all four cards in your hand are the same card. So basically everyone knows you're not having the same card like this. Another thing you can do too as well is 4 times per game, you can discard a card, you put it face down in front of you, and you draw another one. That allows you to get out of tight spots. That's used towards the end of the game for strategy, and is very useful 4 times a game. Now there is an advanced game which I highly recommend you play from the beginning unless you're playing with young children. Now how this works is anytime you land on one of these dark corner spots, either going forward or if even coming backwards, you get to take one of these black market cards. Some of them are immediate actions like recruit a sentinel from your hand. So if you had this in your hand, and you take this, you get to put it down. That'd be great if you already had 2 of them, because then you'd be able to put your third one down and get 6. Maybe you do put 1 agent the opponent has in play into your hand. So maybe they had 2 of these in play, 1 more they win. Well, you take that and you put it back in your hand. Now they know you have that in your hand, some more information for them. Maybe you have an ongoing ability, like when you recruit a double agent, move twice as far forward or backwards. So again, this compounds with this. Again, if you got this and you already had 1 of these, well, it's gonna be very dangerous for them to give you a second one, for example. And there's many other types of cards. Like this one, when you recruit a saboteur, you go forward instead of backwards. That would totally change what that card does. This one says, during the end step, if the opponent is on your home space, you win the game. So they know that. You're trying to get them to move backwards or forwards to that spot. Getaway card, when you land exactly on either home space, you move an extra 3 spaces. I used this for a victory in my last game. And there's even one of these that really flips a lot of it on its head. Remember the Daredevil, if you get 3 of them, you lose. This one says leader of the pack during the end step. If you have 3 Daredevils, you win instead of losing. Totally flips things up for that card. There is a team variant when you play with 3 or 4 players. If you have 4, both teams have 2 players. If you have 3, one team has 2 players. Those players are basically saying which one's going to play first, which one's going to play second. The first one goes face up, the second one goes face down. And if you're getting cards, both of you talk about which one to get, and basically it's a team game. Okay, now what did I like about this? Well, first of all, the game looks amazing. The art is adorable. It just looks really cute. It's vibrant. The graphic design is clear. Excellent presentation. I like that this is an I Split You Choose for 2 players. There's not a lot of games out there that either even play I Split 2 games with 2 players or even are designed for 2 players. Actually, there was one earlier this year I reviewed from Design Around a Canadian Series, a game about ants. The name is, I'm missing the name right now, but that was more of a mean area control game. Very, very good 2-player I Split You Choose. This is a much more lighter one, but not a lot of games use this mechanism with 2 players because it doesn't often work, but it works really well here. This game is all about the bluffing, double bluffing. I think they're going to do this. Last time they did that. I think they're now going to do this, but they know that I think that they're going to do this. It's like the old movie Princess Bride, and they think I know I'm going to do this, so they know that I think that I know that they're going to do this. One of those things, and this time I do something different or whatever. There's a lot of that bluffing, double bluffing in the game. That's a lot of what kind of is in the strategy. If you don't like those head games and trying to guess what people are doing, it's probably not going to be the one for you, but it is a light, quick game. It is fun, even if you don't like that mechanism. It's a battle of wits, if you will. The advanced game, I highly recommend this game to anyone that's not playing for the first time with little children because it is very simple, but it does add a ton more depth and it really changes the way that you have to play. Some cards just absolutely you're going to play them very differently now. I like that. It makes the gameplay very different. There's a lot of cards. You're not going to see all of them every game. It's going to really change how every game feels. It adds a lot more depth. I like that for example, as I showed in the overview, they have one-off abilities, but they also change how cards work. Like the one that used to make you lose if you have 3 of them now makes you win, and that totally flips the table on everything that you're going to do, especially if you're going down a path and then you later got that card. That's what happened to me in my last game. The other player had 2 of the cards that if he gets a 3rd one, he loses, and that card was available, so he wasn't afraid to take those, and he got that card, and I had to basically make sure that wasn't any of the cards. I ended up discarding a bunch of those for the rest of the game. To do that. And that brings me to the next thing, is flexibility of discarding those cards. Being able to discard a card on your turn to redraw is excellent, only 4 times per game, but that flexibility really takes a lot of the luck out of the game, where like I said, I could discard that card and get it out to make sure that that didn't happen to me. And sometimes you're stuck and you don't have a great choice, and sometimes it's okay to just do that, discard and take one up. And it seems simple, but it is an excellent design decision because it does take some things that probably would have been negatives I would have been talking about in the game. Oh, it's too luck-based. Sometimes you just don't have anything good to play. It's all about the card draw. No, here you can, 4 times per game, you can discard a card. Really fixed of what would have been a problem, or probably was at one point in development, I guess. Any negatives on the game? Not really. I'm going to be nitpicking here, but the game, it has an a team variant, which it's okay. But in fairness, the box says 2 players. And then it says, with a team-based 3 or 4 play variant, thank you for telling the truth and not saying this game plays 2 to 4 players on the box. I hate it when games do that. It's like, hey, the game's 2 to 4 players, and you get out and you're like, oh, this is a 2-player game that has a tacked on 3 to 4 player game. And I'm not saying that this 3-4 player game was tacked on. I'm sure it's well developed. Nerdlab Games does great things. But deciding with somebody else, I want to play first. I got a great thing to play face up. No, I want to play first. I have no idea what you have in your hand. Like stuff like that. It's like, it's okay. If you don't have very many games and you like playing this at 2 players and a 3rd person is coming over and it's one of the few games you have, it works. It's fine. But it shines at 2 players. The other thing is sometimes, even with 4 discards, you can feel like you got backed into a corner towards the end of the game, but that kind of needs to happen because the game is short. And sometimes you're like, oh man, no matter what I do here, I'm kind of screwed, I think. And that's okay, because that's actually part of what the other players should be doing to you. That's the feeling you should be getting when you're about to lose. But at some point, you can feel a little helpless on the last play or 2. But the game is like 10 minutes, so it doesn't much matter. Just shuffle the cards up and play again. That's nitpicking there. The game is great. I think if you like I Split You Choose, you like head games, you like adorable art, you like quick fillers, this is one to check out. That's Agent Avenue. Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, and their 4.5 Kickstarter introduced the new Galactic Mycroft and Watson Game Toppers with interchangeable rail inlays, as well as new game mats, miniature gaming terrain packs, leg kit options, dining covers, accessories, and amazing package deals. The campaign recently ended, but it's not too late to pledge late at GameToppersLLC.com.